If you can explain something to me that you know a lot about, then when a teacher asks you to explain something that you don't know a lot about, at least you've had practice in how to explain things, right? People are asking you to explain things that you don't know much about, but you haven't had practice explaining things that you do know much about. And Fortnite is something you know a lot about and I know nothing about. And because I know nothing about it, it means you've got to work a little harder in order to explain it to me. Does that make sense? If I knew the game, if I was another kid, you wouldn't have to explain it to me. I would know, right? But I don't know. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Can you explain it back to me? You can do this.
The game, you have a pickaxe, starting with a pickaxe.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to write down what you say. We got to make sure that it makes sense, okay? I don't know why it's not working, but okay, so.
My uncle has the same computer.
Oh, cool. All right, so go ahead. Tell me what you said.
You're starting off with the pickaxe.
Starting off with a pickaxe, okay? And I don't know if it's true that you're starting off with a pickaxe, because I think my understanding from our last conversation is you start off in a bus.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that's not true. Okay, so you start off in a bus, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And then you jump out of the bus.
Then you jump out of the bus, okay?
You glide down.
The
buildings.
Buildings?
Mm-hmm.
You're gliding down like between buildings?
To the building.
All right, so you glide down to the building. So you're like gliding down into like a city? Does that city have a name?
Yeah.
What's the name of the city?
Tilted. There's Lazy Lagoon. There's a volcano.
Wait, is this one city or more than one city?
There's more.
So you don't know which city you're going to end up in?
Yeah, you could if you want to choose it. You leave a mark.
So the mark was left last time? Or is it the first time? Sorry, I don't know how to. This is what your teachers feel like when they're asking you.
Let's just I'm not worried about the names.
Okay, so you glide down into some buildings. Okay, now you're there in the buildings. What happens, or what do you do next?
Then you have a pickaxe.
Where do you get that from?
You just have it.
It's in your hand. You don't need to go into a treasure box. It's in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have it when you were falling, when you were gliding?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, with your pickaxe, what do you do?
You break the buildings. Then
You break the buildings. Wow.
Then you go inside of them, and then you find a chest.
Okay. Now hang on. I got you. Give me a second here. So, did you need to break the buildings to go inside of them?
Yeah.
Like you're breaking a hole into them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you go inside. You break a hole in the buildings. A hole in the buildings. You go inside of one of the buildings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Buildings, and you look for a treasure chest.
Yeah.
You look for a treasure chest. Okay. Then what happens?
Then you open the chest. Then you find a gun. Then sometimes there's shields.
Inside the chest, is there always a gun?
Yeah.
You will find a gun.
Sometimes.
Always a gun or no?
Yeah, always a gun.
And sometimes you will find what?
Shields.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, and sometimes you have to get a lot of materials.
In the chest, there's materials?
A little bit.
Like what?
Like 30 wood or 30 bricks, 30
Dirty? Or 30? 30?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes you will find shields or 30 bricks, wood, or steel. Yeah? Is that right?
Metal.
Sorry, I keep saying that. Okay, so you start off in a bus. Then you jump out of the bus. You glide down into some buildings. With your pickaxe, you break a hole in the buildings. You go inside. I wrote this all out. You just tell me. You go inside one of the buildings and you look for a treasure chest. Inside the chest, you will find a gun, and sometimes you will find shields or 30 brick, wood, or metal.
You